What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our channel. I'm C.
I'm P.
And today we're reacting to...
Millionaires versus minimum wage by Jubilee.
Yep, another Jubilee video. We like this kind of videos because it incites discussion and we like to discuss this kind of
That's
things.
the point of our channel. We want to be able to discuss and debate with you about certain topics that are happening every day still.
And also have some fun.
Yeah.
In certain videos, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some videos we want to just, react and have fun and,
Laugh
do that.
about.
Some videos we want to actually discuss with you guys. What's happening.
Hear
Right,
your feedback
so-
on things. So let us know.
Middle ground. Millionaires versus...
Millionaires versus minimum wage by Jubilee.
Let's begin.
Get any boobs. What did I do when I started making money? I went and bought boobs. It's like, that's what I wanted. You're gonna die from your implants. Like, I'll die a D cup.
Hey.
Hi, my name's Tim. I'm a community organizer here in LA. I work on environmental justice, social justice, housing justice, and carceral state issues.
My name
That's
is
a lot of
Christiana
justice.
Hurt. I'm the owner of the seven-figure brand Wealthy College Kid, and I'm 24 years old.
My name is Graham. I'm a real estate agent.
Oh, Graham, he got a YouTube channel. I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's called the Graham Stephan Show. Yeah, he educates people about like investments and.
Yeah.
And
I think
housing.
we watched some of that.
Oh no, we didn't. Do
Didn't we? Because we've been
I know.
thinking about real
I know.
estate.
I watch. Yeah, real estate. Yeah, he is real estate. Yeah, I think we might have watched his
Yeah,
channel.
yeah.
I watch his channel. I'm subscribed.
Investor and YouTuber.
My name is Beatrice.
Christiana Hurt. I'm the owner of the seven-figure brand Wealthy College Kid, and I'm 24 years old.
My name is Graham. I'm a real estate agent, real estate investor, and YouTuber.
My name is Beatrice. I am 21 and I am a Target worker.
My name is Brett Knudsen. I am an entrepreneur and an investor.
My name is Tiara Lucky, and I am a minimum wage worker. I just hustle, do Instacart, and I'm also an actress.
Keep hustling.
The first prompt is, I worked for everything I earned.
Shouldn't everybody be? Unless you were handed down money from your
So
parents.
I grew up with two parents that were basically paid.
I'm shocked that not one minimum wage person stepped forward.
Oh, didn't? No.
Only 2 millionaires stepped
That's
forward.
crazy.
That's interesting to
I
me.
thought the millionaires would be the ones that you know.
That wouldn't have, yeah.
Exactly.
Huh.
I thought they would be thinking, oh, I thought they would be feeling
Yeah, I
a
would
lot
have
of
thought
guilt,
the opposite.
for like
So that's
having so much money.
interesting.
Interesting.
Huh. Let's see.
Check to paycheck, and none of them had any.
See? Not one of the...
So I grew up with two parents that were basically paycheck to paycheck, and none of them had any extra money. It was by seeing my parents struggle like that that I really realized the value of money. So I basically poured everything I had into my work. There were years, I would say 4 years, that I didn't have any friends. From 18 to 22, it was just me. And I was working from probably 8 a.m. until midnight, working as a real estate agent.
I completely agree. I think that what a lot of people discount is all the sacrifices that are made. I didn't go to parties. I don't really honestly have like a ton of friends. And it's not like a sacrifice where I was like, I'm gonna have no friends, but you can only balance so many plates or you drop everything. And the plate that I chose to give up was a social life.
Good points. Good points.
There's a lot of labor and communal effort that goes into getting all of us here that we don't get paid for, that other people don't get paid for. The examples that you two gave are perfect, actually. You both earn your money by extracting value from capital transactions. You are not building the house you're selling. You're not out there working like in a slave mine, pulling selenium out of the earth like some people on this planet are. And we have to re-understand what it means to earn money and how we all interact to do that.
How would you address?
Okay, Mutanya says that, right? It sounds like a good point. I don't know if people got disagree with it, but he's my part of it, right? The people who are doing who's building houses, who are doing this kind of jobs, they also get paid for doing those jobs. So they are like all the money they earn for doing those jobs, they earn the money they do.
They're not really working hard for it. It's a hard job, but they're getting paid the money that they should be getting paid for that hard job. They're not working hard to get paid that money.
You could argue if they they're getting paid enough or they're getting paid less or, enough or not enough, right? But what I'm saying is those people earn the money that they get by building the houses. Just like he earned the money by investing in those like real estate markets to get his money. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. I'm okay.
So he's making a point. He's making a point that he didn't really earn that money himself because other people had to build the houses that he invested in, right? But the people who build the houses get paid to build the houses.
So
those people earn the money, and he earned his money by investing in those houses.
It's all
so
how
everyone
you
earned their own money.
Working
so I don't get what I'm saying.
Like
the question was about working hard. The question was about do you earn the money that you get?
But hard work is how you earn the money.
True. So I'm saying, but my argument is everybody in that scenario earn the money.
Money, yeah, just in different ways, a different job.
Exactly. So I don't get his point. I think his point is that other people, you earn your money because somebody else has done something that allows you to contribute.
You didn't work hard on your own.
Yeah, like you did. Like since you didn't do everything yourself, then
it doesn't count.
I think he's saying that other people have helped you, which I understand. I agree with that. Other people helped you with it, but I'm not gonna say because of that you didn't earn your money. You know what I mean?
I think
even though somebody helped you with it, you still earned your money because those other people are also getting paid for what they do. So they're not
helping you sell the house. They made the house for you to sell.
And they get paid for it.
But you had to work hard to be able to sell that house.
So you earn the money.
To earn that money that the clientele is going to pay you.
He didn't help them build the house, right?
Yeah.
So he had no right to the money that they were giving for building the house.
Yes.
But he worked hard to sell the house. Mm-hmm. So they had no right to get the money he got from actually working to sell the house. If that makes sense.
I can attest because my mom used to be a real estate agent. It is very hard to actually sell a house.
So you earn your money.
So, like, you really need to be a good salesperson.
Exactly.
You really need to know not just the house, but the community that the house is in. Mm-hmm. So and the school district and all that
I get what he's saying about other people we have to have like a community and infrastructure to be able to do what we do.
Yes.
But we all help each other.
But that doesn't really have to deal with
But I wouldn't take it so far as to say that none of us really earn our money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it that far.
Stop extracting value if
selenium out of the earth like some people on this planet are, and we have to re-understand what it means to earn money and how we all interact to do that.
How would you address based off extracting value if you start a company from the ground and then you build it into a multi-million-dollar company?
But no one does that because there's investors and stuff that come in too.
Not always.
Most of the time. I mean, you have to get capital from somewhere.
I have raised money before.
Yeah.
But I've also started companies that I didn't raise money for.
How would you finance them?
By working a part-time retail job for minimum wage and then saving up and then putting it in.
But even if there are investors, investors is investing in the company. If the company makes money, they get a portion of that money. Mm-hmm. So everybody in that scenario earned their money.
It's just different aspects.
Exactly. So I don't get the point.
You could group it all together if you want, but
everybody
earned their money separately.
Exactly. So
like you work together. You're grouping it together because of the final outcome, but you can't group it together with the income.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
You work together, true. You help each other make the money, right?
Yes.
But individually, you all put something in.
Yeah, but that money,
earn that money,
wasn't a whole collective. You know what I mean? It wasn't like one giant paycheck that was getting split up. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say there's the people that built the house, there's the people that rent the house out, so then there's a giant paycheck that's being split up between all these people. No. The person that built the house is from a certain company. That company is paying them. Mm-hmm. They earn their money with that company.
Exactly.
The person who's selling the house is from a different company. That company is paying them. They earn their money with that company. So you could group it together being like the whole collective, the finished product was because everybody worked together to make it. That is true. But you can't group it together with the income.
Yeah, everybody independently earned the money. Yes. I'm saying.
I have felt judged for my income level.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think it's part of general society. We are always judging each other. Having used SNAP points before, like standing in a grocery store, using the card that I've gotten for the government to pay for food, and feeling the people behind me thinking that's something that you haven't earned or gotten.
Has somebody ever asked you to use your SNAP on them?
I mean, I have. Generally, there's not that much to go around.
It's the same mentality when it's $1 versus SNAP. Somebody could still ask me to share. Well, you get it. Why can't you help me out?
I didn't step forward because me personally, I surround myself with people that just like, what's in my bank account just doesn't matter to the people that are around me. I do think a lot of judgment towards how much you make reflects on like your dating experience. That I do feel.
See, I've never had that because I'm
No.
Shit, dating experience?
Yes, because think about it, of women that only date a certain wage.
I wouldn't think
And
about that.
also the fact that they were saying how people judge based on the income, that is a societal thing, but it's also, like she said, who you let in your circle.
Exactly.
Society is always going to have people judging you for something, whether it's your income or the color of your skin. That's just a given. But it's about who you allow to be a part of your everyday life.
Your inner circle.
You know, if you have people in your inner circle that are judging you, then do they really belong in your inner
You
circle?
have to get better friends.
Exactly.
so frugal.
I do think a lot of judgment towards how much you make reflects on like your dating experience. That I do feel.
See, I've never had that because I'm
No?
so frugal. If there are girls that are out there who want me for my money, like, they should know I'm probably like the cheapest person out there. I literally will wait like 9 p.m. for happy hour to start just so I get the happy hour menu. And stuff like, so I would be like the last person any sort of like gold digger would want.
I find myself in situations with these boys that have no job, no nothing. And I end up taking on these charity cases of relationships. Oh, why don't you put him on or build him up? And it's like, you can't build.
Yeah, it's not Build-A-Bear.
I mean, you can. I mean, I've met guys I've dated that, you know, go on to have successful businesses from my input. And, you know, you want to date somebody equal or greater, but then you don't want to be materialistic about like, well, I only date people with money because I make money.
Some girls do that. Some girls, that's all they do.
Two things. One, the dating aspect, it's very tricky when you have money because you don't know if the person is with you because of the money or they want you to help them better their career. And it makes you feel, it can make a person feel like you're with me because you want me to make you better and make you grow. Or it could be like a growing experience for both. Maybe that person will show you something and you can grow in a certain way that doesn't have to do with money. And the other person can grow in a financial way because you're showing them how to handle the money. It really depends on the person and who you're allowing yourself to date, I feel like.
I think that's what Stephen was talking about. How he's very frugal, right? So even though he's rich, like if your girl comes to him for money, she's gonna find out real quick that
it's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
Because
so
it's also how you present
I think
yourself.
exactly. So I think
if you're
if you
out there, woohoo,
exactly
with your money.
So I think if you live like him, any gold diggers, it's a gold digger repellent. You know what I mean? It's a gold digger repellent. So people who stay with you, you know they're with you because of you. Unless they're very patient. Some girls are very patient. But
what about the middle ground? People that are frugal but not as frugal, like to champagne themselves a little bit. Like maybe like to buy a nice little watch, and you could tell that the person has money because it's an expensive watch. But everything else they do is very frugal. But once in a while they like to treat themselves. So it's a little bit harder to.
And it's harder for people. Some people who are rich just like spending money. So it's way harder for them because girls will just be around them. Even friends will be their friends just because of the money.
They have money, yeah.
Exactly.
It's like that J. Cole song when the guy called him. He was like, oh, I heard you're this big time singer. I have a guy that's probably a good singer.
Exactly, you want to collab, or like
I
I can be a manager.
I haven't spoke to you in years.
But like, can I be a manager?
sure.
Like, you know,
Like,
yeah.
people
Those things
try to
are red
take
flags
advantage.
that you know you gotta have to.
It's just about like yourself, how you're gonna be able to handle yourself now with money, and who you're gonna let in your circle now that you have money.
Exactly.
Become rich.
Be equal or greater, but then you don't want to be materialistic about like, well, I only date people with money because I make money.
Anyone can become rich if you work hard enough.
So I just think that anyone could become rich if they actually like believed in themselves and took the risk to actually believe in themselves, that there is some success at the end of the line of that.
I feel like a lot of it comes down to mindset first and really having the belief that you can do that. I know for me, one of my biggest concerns was I didn't have any skills whatsoever and I didn't get into college. I have like a 2.0 GPA in high school. Like, it was terrible. I had such bad grades, but I really turned that into a positive, and I really believe this actually happened for a reason, because now I could pursue something else, which was real estate, because that didn't require a college degree. And looking back now, that was the best thing that had ever happened.
What was the question? I give you a question. I was trying to say, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh.
Okay, anyone become rich, right? Yeah, I think anyone can become rich if they want to, right? But not everybody wants to. Listen to me. You think you do, right? You think you want to be rich because you think, oh, I'm just gonna make a lot of money, just relax, put my feet up, you know.
It's a lot of hard work.
That is not what making a lot, being rich is.
Really,
you know.
It
So
depends on the person.
Exactly.
The integrity.
Exactly. Like, a lot of people think, you know, being like a CEO, they only think about the money, or I'm gonna make a lot of money, but they never think about the hard work and the sacrifices. Like they were saying in the beginning of the video, to become rich, you have to make a lot of sacrifices in your life. You have to have less fun. You gotta go out more. Sometimes even you gotta have less fun sometimes, because you're focusing more time into your career than those other type of things. Some people ignore the whole families. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Well, you're basically wrong to ignore your family. But you have to make certain sacrifices to make a certain amount of money, you know? So it's not just, oh, I'm gonna make money and that's it. You gotta make sacrifices.
You also have to be able to put in that grind. There's different types of grind. You could be grinding every day for a paycheck just to pay your bills and that's it. But then you could also be grinding every day to have a paycheck to pay your bills, to also have some money on the side, to be able to do this and that. Like, if you do that and you're working like 2 or 3 jobs so you could get all this settled, so that way you can get to a point where you don't have to hustle as hard, there's gonna be certain things, like the guy said in the beginning, your plate, there's always so many plates that you could hold. So it's all about the person themselves that is willing to put in that hustle, that is willing to drop some plates. Some people aren't as willing to do those things. They see how hard it is to work at this, and they don't want to do it because it's just too much.
Exactly. Some people,
too much stress or too much to handle, or they like to have a social life. They like to have so many friends in their life. They don't want to be able to drop those things. So they're really big on family and they're really big on this. So it's harder for them to be able to do that.
Some people get to a point where they're like, okay, I'm here now, right? If I want to make if I make this amount of money, right? If I want to make this amount of money, if I want to go up $100,000 or $50,000, I'm gonna have to sacrifice this. I'm not willing to sacrifice this for $50K. So I'm not gonna aim for that. Some people choose to like stop, you know? Some people want to live the life making as much money as possible, right? They want to keep going up, sacrifice everything. Some people are like, no, I'm not willing to sacrifice my family or going out, so I'm fine with making this amount of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's also something you gotta think about. What are you willing to sacrifice for money?
What are you willing to do?
Exactly.
How hard are you willing to work?
Exactly. So you gotta think about that. A lot of people don't think about these kind of things. They think
and what might you lose?
They think, oh, he's making a lot of money, so he must be a bad person who just tricked the system
And there's
make a
always
lot of money.
in life.
Maybe he
There's
makes
always
sacrifices.
a balance.
You know?
If you put too much on this scale, the scale is going to go up here, and this is gonna fall. You put too much on that, it's gonna go like this. You have to find your middle ground. What are you willing to do to raise your money? Something has to drop.
Yeah, the last point I'm gonna
So
make.
what is dropping?
The last
What are
point-
you willing to let go?
The last point I'm gonna make is that a lot of people think that people who are on the top either cheated their way to the top or the parents give them a lot of money, blah blah blah. Right? They think of all the easy ways to get to the top, but they never thought, what if those people actually sacrificed and work hard to get where they're at?
And even if
And
that
for
is
you
the
to
case,
get there, you have to actually do the same thing to get there. People who are at the top, who are millionaires, are not automatically bad people. You know what I mean? And people who are poor are not automatically good people. They're people who are wished, like, simple of them, you know? It's not that simple.
even if it is the case that their parents brought them there or they cheated their way there, they still have to try to find a way to maintain themselves there once they're there. It's not like once they're there, ooh, they could chill and lay back. No, you have to work hard to stay there, you know?
For a reason, because now I could pursue something else, which was real estate, because that didn't require a college degree. And looking back now, that was the best thing that had ever happened.
That's like a really sticky situation with anyone can become like rich, and because I don't think that's completely true. A lot of people can if they have like connections and stuff, you know. But I feel like sometimes people like they work 2 jobs, or sometimes they have other things going on. They have to pay their needs first. They don't always have like money for that, you know.
So I want to say that solution for that is not knowledge. You gotta find another way to make money. Not do it by like selling your time for money, but how I try learning something that people will pay for. Saying that doesn't require you to spend like half your life working for somebody else. How about you learn something that somebody will pay a lot of money for, that you don't have to work as many hours to. That's the way you solve that. There's always a way to do it.
But I feel like sometimes people like they work 2 jobs, or sometimes they have other things going on. They have to pay their needs first. They don't always have like money for that, you know? Because like my dad, he's like a landscape worker. He has tried making his own company, and it doesn't always like work out. He has tried hard. It doesn't work.
Okay, you keep
That's why
trying.
I think it's like you have to have connects, you know? That's why.
Do you mind if I interject?
not always.
Yeah.
In terms of building connections, I didn't have any connections either when
Bam.
it comes to
Right there.
working in real estate. And what I did to make the connections is I went to open houses every single Sunday for
There we go.
months. And I probably met at least 50 or 60 real estate agents. And it was through that I met one agent who was really gracious enough to say, if you want to come work underneath me, I'm happy to do that. And it was really that connection, which like you mentioned, connection, that I met that person through just really kind of putting myself out there to meet people.
There's a lot of institutional and systemic barriers that we aren't really talking about. If you walk into like a Beverly Hills $5 million house not speaking English, they're probably not going to give you the like hookup.
So learn
We
to
don't
speak
tend
English.
to move within circles where those connections cross economic and socioeconomic lines. But even beyond that, I want to say like you took a big risk and your risk paid off. But what if your risk hadn't paid off? And
I'm sorry for keep pausing it, but that's what it takes to become rich. I keep pausing it because
You have
that's
to
what
take
it takes.
risk, even if not even just to become rich.
To make money, to be
In
successful.
life, you take risk almost every day to further yourself. Whether it's furthering yourself with money, furthering yourself to be a better person, to get somebody's attention because you have a sexual attraction, or furthering yourself to be a better person for your family or community. There's always a risk that
Listen,
needs to be
well,
taken.
I keep-
It's all about you willing to take that risk, willing to jump off that ledge to do something.
I keep hearing excuses, right?
Yeah.
Not enough connection. I have a lot to do, blah blah. But he gave you ways that he did it without any of that. There's
Yeah.
always a way to do that. The person doesn't speak English, learn to speak English. Then you can actually get those connections. There's ways that you can do it.
Bring someone
Instead of making excuses, think about find a way to do it. Say, how can I do this?
No.
Don't say, oh, I can't do
I
this.
can't do this. Let me just give up.
Ask yourself, how can I do this?
What could I do differently?
Exactly.
How maybe bring some, if you wanted that house like now, maybe bring somebody with you that could translate.
Exactly.
If you can't learn English fast enough for what you need.
Or get a partner. Or there's ways. You have to be creative and think about it. And yes.
Even if you can't think about it, we got Google nowadays. You could just research.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to put in that work to do the research, to do this, to do that, to get to what you want. That's anything in life, not just financially. Anything in life.
Ask how you can do the things you want to do. Don't just say, "Oh, I can't do it," and give up.
That's for where those connections cross economic and socioeconomic lines. But even beyond that, I want to say, like, you took a big risk, and your risk paid off. But what if your risk hadn't paid off? And that's for a lot of people who do try and start their own business or try and start their own YouTube channel.
Start over.
That risk doesn't pay off, and there's no real safety net there. So we're not really getting an adequate side of people who have, like, taken that entrepreneurial risk and not been able to take it again.
I'm almost worried it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, though. If you go in it fearing, oh, what am I going to fail, and that becomes your main focus, I think more people are less likely to take risks actually needed to succeed because they're more focused on not failing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think your beliefs create the level of action you take, and the level of action you take determines your results, and it is cyclical.
Facts.
I am not obligated to give to the less fortunate.
I had a feeling it would be that.
So the reason I stood up on this one is I actually, one of the missions in my organizing is getting away from this kind of notion that we have that charity or philanthropy is the way in which we solve social problems. At the same time, like, I still give people money when I have extra change in my pocket, so I don't want to seem like I'm totally opposed to it.
I agree with that. I've given people money and not gotten it back. I've given people money and they've wasted it on drugs. Why did I even give you the money to begin with if you weren't going to use it to better yourself? Is it my job to make sure that you're not going hungry? No, we have plenty of organizations that will make sure that you're eating, make sure that you have a roof over your head. Yeah. It doesn't have to fall on my shoulders, per se.
That's in both. Whether you're rich or you're minimum wage. Because I've actually had that happen to me too. I've helped people and give them money even though I don't really have much to give. Because that person was in a worse spot than me. They were about to lose their house. They needed money for rent. And I needed money myself because I'm poor.
You're not rich.
And I gave them the money anyway because they were in a worse spot than me. And they said they were going to pay me back. They never did. And only to find out a few months later, they didn't use the money to save their house. They used the money on frugal things that they shouldn't have. I don't remember exactly what they used it on, but I know it wasn't for their house. And it was something insignificant. And this person was a family member of one of my best friends back in the day. So it was even more like hurtful when you try, and it makes you hesitate in the future to give out help because you get something like this that happens. Then you're like, it's very harder to want to be giving to the less fortunate, whether it's somebody you know or somebody you don't know. You also see there's videos on YouTube about people in New York who pretend to be homeless.
Well, yeah,
just to get
now
money.
In New York. They call them panhandlers. They call them panhandlers.
So it's like, these people, these certain people,
makes it harder for you
to help people that actually need your help.
Exactly.
So,
my answer to that question is that you don't have to, but you should. That's my simple answer. You should give to the less fortunate. You shouldn't have to. You don't have to, but you should.
Any of organizations that will make sure that you're eating, make sure that you have a roof over your head. Yeah. It doesn't have to fall on my shoulders, per se.
I feel like when you say, are you obligated to give to the unfortunate, it's always the mindset of like money. Well, guess what? I have no money currently to give. But I have like my morality, I have my goodness about me. I'm just trying to build a community, especially when you have a group of people that is creative and supportive. You build faster than just by yourself.
I don't always donate with money. Sometimes I'll go and I'll fill bags of food for kids that are starving. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be money. Like, I don't think it's our responsibility to give money based off of what we think the person's going to do with it. Like, that's on them if they choose to use it wrongly. It's our responsibility just to be generous.
I am not afraid to spoil myself.
I personally do spoil myself. I work hard to be able to go into a store and get something for myself. I bought a $4,000 hairless cat that I had genetically made. And when I was in high school, when I started making money, I went and got that cat. You know, when you're in middle school and everybody's hitting puberty and getting taller and boobs, and I didn't get any boobs. What did I do when I started making money? I went and bought boobs. Like, that's what I wanted. And you know, there's the controversy of like, you're gonna die from your implants. Like, I'll die a D cup and have no problem with it.
So I rarely ever treat myself. I basically keep my spending the same as when I was like, 19 or 21. No matter how much money I make, I spend the exact same amount. For instance, this sounds crazy, but when I was like 17, I wanted a Lamborghini. And there was nothing I wanted more. I want to be that guy, 18 years old and pull up with a Lambo. Like, that was my dream. But when I actually got the money to go and buy the car, all of a sudden I realized, like, wait a second, that's stupid. I'm not going to get the car. I'm going to invest it in real estate instead. But then I'm going to wait, and then I'm going to get the Lamborghini. And then you save up even more, and then you realize, wait, the Lambo is still stupid. Let me go and, invest it. And even now, like, the chase and ambition of getting something is way more fun and enjoyable than actually getting that thing.
I don't really.
I agree to an extent. Like, I wouldn't waste your money on silly things. You should save your money for more important things in your life. But I also believe once in a while, it's okay to let your hair down, to spoil yourself a little bit, to get that nice dress that you've always wanted to wear but never could because you didn't have the money for it, or get that haircut that you always wanted but never could because you never had the money for it. You know what I mean?
That's some really cheap stuff we're talking about. We're talking about like big stuff, like the beginnings, not haircuts and.
No, I'm just
dresses.
saying, like, though,
I understand,
it's okay to spoil yourself every once in a while, but don't go crazy. You know what I mean? Like, when you get rich, don't go after like the most giant thing and spend all your money on all these insignificant stuff that you're probably gonna grow out of over time. You know what I mean? Like, right now, yeah, you're into Lamborghinis, but who says a year or two from now you're not going to be into Ferraris, or, you know what I mean?
My thing is, if you work hard for your money, you can spend it on whatever you want, but you also gotta be smart about it. You got, like, what he says, that it's like, it depends how much do you want something between. I think you should work hard, right, and spend less and what you don't really care about, and spend more on what you really care about. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, certain things, like me, I moved into like this apartment, right? I didn't really care about like a dining table, so I waited to get that. I spent most of my time in my room anyways, so I just didn't really get a couch, you know, when I first moved in. But I really wanted a TV. So instead of buying a $2,000, couch, which I knew I was gonna be in that living room that much anyways, I bought a $200 TV instead. Not $200, $2,000 TV instead. You know? So I believe spend a lot in what you really care about and spend less in what you don't really care about. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel like.
But I agree.
That will save you the money that you need.
I agree, but I feel once in a while you should be able to treat yourself to things that you
No. See, I'm not saying once in a while. I'm saying all the time. I'm not saying once in a while. I'm agreeing with you. I'm going further. I'm saying all the time, spend money on what you really want and spend less on what you don't really care about.
Okay.
Because a lot of people will buy things that they don't really need. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they spend a lot in like, getting like like granite countertops. Yeah, they don't really care about that. Mm-hmm. Then why get it?
Invest into a house that you want to
live in
and die in. Invest in your future when you retire. Exactly. Make sure you have a little nest egg. Exactly. Invest in your children if you plan on having children one day, or you already have kids. Put your money there.
I'm saying be smart about it. Don't buy a Lamborghini that's $1 million when your net worth is like
Don't
$2
buy
million.
something
You know what I mean?
if
Listen,
you know
like, if your net
your
worth
mind's gonna change.
if your net worth is $2 million, don't buy a $1 million Lamborghini. That's half your net worth. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Be smart about it.
And plus, as fast as you make money is as fast as you could lose money.
Exactly.
Also remember that.
All right.
And even now, like the chase and ambition of getting something is way more fun and enjoyable than actually getting that thing.
I don't really spoil myself because I always buy my needs first. I usually wait till like my next check to see if I have extra money, and if I do, then I spoil myself. But if I don't, then I don't.
I think it's interesting also that almost all of us have associated spoiling ourselves with spending money, and at the same time said spending that money is very unfulfilling. It's weird because even myself, like, I really just like having an F-off day and I just hang out and don't do anything and have any responsibilities, but I don't think about it as spoiling myself, even though that's my favorite time to spend.
That's true.
I wish I had more money.
Come on.
Everybody
Come on. Go on. Oh, he doesn't go? Okay, I guess he's...
For me, I think it's always a comfort thing knowing that I have a little bit more saved up or invested. And I think it could just be a psychological thing that no matter how much money I have, it's always psychologically never going to be enough because that becomes your new normal. So I think you're always chasing that.
See, I want more money so that I can pay off like my debt and travel. And like help some family members, and that's it.
That's why I want money. I mean, I don't want to be like, oh, give me money, you know, but like, I just want it for my needs, you know, or just for like a car because I need a car, you know, or just stuff my family needs, stuff my friends need.
I think for me, if I'm honest with myself, it's getting further away from how broke I was because I'm scared of that ever happening again. There is no end because of that.
So, of course, everyone could always use more money. Like, I've met billionaires who could definitely say that they would want more money, but more, I want to see a society in which the money that we have doesn't determine all of our possibilities. Because it seems like when we talk about solving problems, it comes back to money. My utopian vision is like a society where money really doesn't matter because we don't really need it to figure out value, but it makes a good translation for the time being.
Oh yeah, no, I'll tell you all about credit card sharing.
Credit cards. I think the point he made about not needing money to be, you know, happy or whatever, I think that's what he's getting at. But a society is so, you know, embedded in money that it becomes harder now to actually sustain all your needs without money.
Plus, how can you maintain control within the society without a money aspect? Imagine taking money out of the equation. There'll be no law enforcement. You can't pay
but
the law
that's
enforcement.
because the world is based on money. It's all based on money. Remember, like in the past, right? Well, it was like trade, right? Money was not involved. You have something I want, I have something you want, which we trade for it. Bam, done. No money involved. But now it's so inherently based on money. I'm not saying we need money to be happy, but and to a point, you need money
to survive,
to sustain yourself. Exactly. Yes. Unless you want to go live in the woods and become, you know, like, you know, hunt for your food and, you know, and become a farmer, you need money to survive. You know what I mean?
Let's do it.
You want to be a farmer?
Can you picture me?
Go hunting, you know, get a bow and arrow.
Pitchfork. Giant picture.
Yeah, that's hard work. Being a farmer is hard work, man. Hard work.
At least I'll gain some muscles.
All right, guys, what do you think about this conversation?
Yeah,
it was very, very interesting.
It's a very long video.
Yeah.
We had a lot to say about it. I wonder if you guys have a lot to say about it too. Please comment. Like, when we have videos like this, we really love to try to have a debate or a conversation about what other people's ideas are. It's very interesting to us. The majority of our channel is to be able to discuss these things and talk about these things with everybody around the world. So please let us know what you think. As always,
I feel like a debate sounds aggressive. You know, like debate.
Everybody
have a conversation.
thinks that when people
exactly.
hear about debates, they go like so
like
negative.
yelling at each other, like
No, it's not about yelling. It's about having a conversation
and figure things out. You know.
Exactly. You tell me your point of view. If it's different from mine, I'll try to convince you about my.
It doesn't have to be negative, you know.
No.
But, you know, conversation, debate, however you want to.
As always, like, comment,
subscribe.
See you next time.